Good afternoon, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you. Welcome back again. And today is October the 30th, I think, 2021. Thank you again. I have a breaking news from Ethiopia. According to the Digital Wayane and other media outlets, the Tigray Defense Forces now took over or completely captured the city of Desse. So this is confirmed by DW and other media outlets. This is breaking news. So let's listen. It's in Amharic. Let's listen to DW or Digital Wayane. And this is just breaking news.
ሰበር ዜና ጀግናው የትግራይ ሰራዊት በአማራ ክልል የደቡብ ወሎ ዞን ዋና ከተማ ደሴን ሙሉ ለሙሉ መቆጣጠሩን አስታወቀ። የትግራይ ሰራዊት ወታደራዊ ኮማንድ አሁን በሰጠው መግለጫ ደሴ ከተማን ትላንት መቆጣጠር የጀመረው ጀግናው ሰራዊታችን ዛሬ ከቀትር በኋላ ከተማዋን ሙሉ ለሙሉ ተቆጣጥሯል። ጀግናው የትግራይ ሰራዊት በአሁኑ ሰዓት በከተማዋ የነበሩ የጠላት ታጣቂዎችን በመደምሰስና ከይዞታቸው በማስለቀቅ ነው የደሴ ከተማን ተቆጣጥሮ ከዘራፊዎች እያጸዳት የሚገኘው። በፋሽስቱ የብልጽግና አመራር ለሰላም አልገዛም ባይነት ከተለያዩ አካባቢዎች ተፈናቅለው በደሴ ከተማ የተጠለሉትን ዜጎች ሳይጨምር ከ600 ሺህ በላይ ህዝብ የሚኖርባት ደሴ አሁን ላይ በትግራይ መከላከያ ሰራዊት መዳፍ ላይ ወድቃለች። በአንዳንድ ህንፃዎችና ፎቆች ላይ ተደብቀው ጥይት የሚተኩሱትን የሰው በላው ፋኖ ታጣቂዎችን ከፎቅ ላይ የማውረድ ስራም እየተሰራ እንዳለ ያገኘነው መረጃ ያመለክታል። የትግራይ ወታደራዊ ኮማንድ እንዳለው ሰራዊታችን በ20 ኪሎ ሜትር ርቀት ላይ የምትገኘውን የኮምቦልቻ ከተማንም ከበባ ውስጥ እያስገባት ሲሆን የጠላት ጦር ከተማዋን የጦርነት አውድማ ለማድረግ እየተንቀሳቀሰ በመሆኑም ድርጊቱን አውግዟል። ስለሆነም የኮምቦልቻ ህዝብ አደጋ ውስጥ የከተቱትን የጠላት ታጣቂዎች ከአካባቢው እንዲርቁ በማድረግ ተረጋግቶ ቤትና ንብረቱን እንዲጠብቅም የትግራይ ሰራዊት ወታደራዊ ኮማንድ አሳስቧል። የፋሽስቱ የኢትዮጵያ መንግስት ኮሚኒኬሽን ጽህፈት ቤት ኃላፊና ተጧሪ የማህበራዊ ሚዲያ የብልጽግና ፕሮፓጋንዲስቶች ደሴ አሁንም በፋሽስቱ ጦር ስር ትገኛለች ቢሉም የውጭ መገናኛ ብዙሃን ሳይቀሩ ደሴ በትግራይ ሰራዊት እጅ ላይ መውደቋን እየዘገቡ ይገኛሉ።
Okay, this is advertisement. It's crazy.
ፋሽስቱ የአብይ አገዛዝ እንደለመደው የደሴን ከተማ ከትላንት አርብ ጥቅምት 19 2014 ዓ.ም ጀምሮ የኤሌክትሪክ አገልግሎት እንዳታገኝ እንዳቋረጠባትም የከተማዋ ነዋሪዎች ለሮይተርስ ገልጸዋል። የኮምቦልቻ ከተማ ዕጣ ፈንታም ከደሴ የማይለይ ሲሆን የእነዚሁ ከተሞች በትግራይ ሰራዊት እጅ መውደቅ ቀጣዩን እርምጃ እንደሚያቀለውም እየተነገረ ይገኛል። ሮይተርስ ያነጋገራቸው የትግራይ ሰራዊት ወታደራዊ ኮማንድ አባልና የትግራይ ፕሬዝዳንት አማካሪ ታጋይ ጌታቸው ረዳ ደሴ በትግራይ ሰራዊት ቁጥጥር ስር መዋሏን አረጋግጠዋል። ፋሽስቱን የኢትዮጵያ መንግስት ጨምሮ ደሴ በትግራይ ሰራዊት ቁጥጥር ስር አልዋለችም የሚሉ አካላት ከዚህ ሰዓት ጀምሮ ደሴ ከተማ በመገኘት በማህበራዊ ሚዲያዎች በቀጥታ ስርጭት እውነታውን እንዲጋቱትም ጥሪ ቀርቦላቸዋል። 11 ዞኖች ያሉት የአማራ ክልል በአሁኑ ወቅት ግማሹን ዞኖችና የህዝቡን ግማሽ አካል የማስተዳደር ስልጣን ተነፍጎ ባህር ዳርና ጎንደር ላይ ዘራፍ እያለ እንደሚገኝ የሚታወቅ ነው። ትግራይ ታሸንፋለች።
There you go. This is the breaking news. So DW Digital Wayane is confirming the city of the capturing of the city of Desse with more than 600,000 residents as the very important development for TDF. And we have seen different videos before the capture of this city. The Ethiopian government, the Amara regional government, all the activists, call on young, old, to defend the city of Desse and the city of Kombolcha with training, with a military training or without military training. All that incitement, all that propaganda now is not working for Desse. So now, according to this media resource, that the same kind of propaganda is now in Gondar and Bahar Dar or other cities. So we, call on the Ethiopian government, the United States and the European Union, call on the Ethiopian government to settle this bloody war. But it falls on the deaf ears. So the situation is now changing. Today is Desse, tomorrow is Kombolcha, next Bahar Dar, Gondar. So they want that to happen. They want that to happen. They don't know how to negotiate. They don't know how to settle domestic conflict, internal conflict. They want to naming the name. That is, so this is just a breaking news. This is very tough news for those fanos, militia, and those dancing on the street and jumping and singing, all this. So let's read what Reuters said and what the United States says on this development. And I have also something to say. The activist Mekonen Kebede, who also in Desse, yesterday campaigning and fighting for Desse. Tigray forces say they took town in Amara region. Ethiopia denies. Rebellious Tigray forces said on Saturday they had seized the strategic town of Desse in Ethiopia's Amara region, where tens of thousands of ethnic Amaras have sought refuge from an escalation in fighting, but the government denied this. The fighters pushed Ethiopian government forces from Desse and were headed toward the town of Kombolcha. Getachew Reda, spokesperson for the Tigray People Liberation Front, TPLF, told Reuters by satellite phone from undisclosed location. He said Tigray forces had captured numerous Ethiopian soldiers. Legesse Tulu, the government spokesperson, told Reuters in a text message that the town was still under the control of the Ethiopian government and said claims by the Tigrayan forces were fabricated propaganda. This is on tweet. Why not on the phone? We don't know. And the United States on Saturday afternoon called on Tigrayan forces to halt their advance in and around the cities of Desse and Kombolcha, and the renewed calls for them to withdraw from the Amara and Afar regions. I have also a statement on U.S. State Department on the situation. Asked about the Tigrayan forces claims, Ethiopian military spokesman Colonel Getnet Adane referred Reuters to the federal government. Amara spokesperson Gzacho Mulune, the mayor of Desse and a spokesperson for the town, didn't respond to requests for comment. Reuters couldn't independently verify the account of either side, as phone lines in Desse appeared to be down as of Saturday afternoon. The capture of Desse would be a strategic gain for the Tigrayan fighters against the central government forces who are trying to dislodge them from the Amara region. The large town in some 385 kilometers or 240 miles from the capital, Addis Ababa, and the farthest south in Amara that the TPLF has reached since pushing into the region in July. A school director in Desse said he saw Ethiopian soldiers retreating from the town on Saturday morning towards Kombolcha, and that power across town had been off since Friday. Another resident of Desse also said the town had no power and that the federal army had left. Both said they had heard Tigrayan fighters were in town but hadn't seen them. Both residents spoke on condition of anonymity. Credit Reuters. So every time the rebels advance into cities and the towns and the villages, the government shut down internet, shut down the phone service, shut down the banking, shut down everything immediately. That is their strategy. Is it working? No. It's just increasing the suffering of the residents in that area. Okay, the following is the statement from U.S. State Department on Ethiopia. This is press release. The United States is greatly concerned by the expansion of combat in northern Ethiopia. We reiterate our call for the Tigray People Liberation Front, TPLF, to withdraw from the Amara and Afar region, including halting its advances in and around the cities of Desse and Kombolcha. We urge the TPLF not to use artillery against cities and recall our strong objection to the ENDF, Ethiopian National Defense Force, airstrikes in Mekele and other areas of Tigray, which have cost countless lives. There is no military solution to this conflict, and all parties must begin ceasefire negotiation without precondition. The United States remain committed to having lives and alleviated suffering through the delivery of humanitarian assistance to all Ethiopians in need, whether in the Tigray, Amara, or Afar region. We continue to be alarmed by reports of the deliberate denial of humanitarian assistance in northern Ethiopia. Up to 900,000 people are living in famine-like conditions in Tigray, while the government restricts urgently needed humanitarian supplies, including medicine, fuel, and cash for the relief organizations. We repeat our call on all parties to the conflict to allow and facilitate unhindered humanitarian access. We reiterate our call for all parties to protect civilians and end human rights abuses and violations of international humanitarian law. Those responsible for such abuses and violations must be held accountable. U.S. State Department. So this is the situation. So the United States is watching, and the United States keep warning TDF and the Ethiopian government to cease fire and start dialogue, start negotiation to end this bloody war. So far, no one is listening. No one is listening, especially on Ethiopian side. They think they have massive military power, so they can defeat, this very small population, like 5 million, 6 million. That's their mentality. But it's not working. People are dying. Kids supposed to be in school are now in the military, very young, 14, 15, 16. So Mr. Abiy Ahmed and those behind him should listen to the United States and other international partners and some as concerned Ethiopians and settle this issue before too late. Okay, this one is designation of 6 targets involved in Iran destabilizing unmanned aerial vehicle activities. This is also from U.S. State Department sanctioning some Iranian companies and the individuals responsible for the drones. The United States will use every appropriate tool to counter Iran's malign influence and activities, including its proliferation of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAV. The United States has designated 6 Iranian targets, 2 entities and 4 individuals using executive orders that address terrorism and WMD proliferation. These targets are linked to Iran's UAV activities, including activities that threaten U.S. interests. Iran-backed Kimia Part Sivan Company, Mohammad Ibrahim Dargar, Tehrani, and Brigadier General Said Aghani are being designated under Executive Order 13224 for their links to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) UAV activities. Iran-based Mado Company, Yusuf Abu Talib, and Chief Brigadier General to Abdullahi Mahrabi are all being designated under Executive Order 13382 for their links to the IRGC and its affiliate units. The IRGC has used and proliferated lethal UAVs to Iranian-supported groups, including attacks on U.S. forces and on international shipping. The United States will use all available tools, including sanctions, to prevent, deter, and dismantle the procurement networks that supply UAV-related materials and technology to Iran, as well as the Iranian entities that engage in such proliferation. For more information about today's designation, please see the Department of the Treasury's press release. So that's the U.S. sanctioning some Iranian companies for destabilizing and impacting American interests and some other attacks on shipping. So that's the sanction of individuals and companies. So lastly, I want to say something about Mekonen Kebede. He is famous on Facebook, social media. He's a very controversial guy, advocating for the elimination of Oromos, and advising Amaras to get united, to get armed, to fight not only the current generation of Oromos, but the future generation, to secure the Ethiopia they want, one Ethiopia under the control of Amara. So this guy now, he was in Desse. We don't know his situation right now, but he was in Desse, encouraging Fanos, Amara militia, to defend Desse, but we don't know his situation now. I have a video to share with you. He transmitted that yesterday before the capture of Desse. And I have this statement, and this guy is very serious, and I don't know how the social media platform, Facebook, missed his transmission. Very controversial, and it's like encouraging Amaras to get armed, not only to defend themselves, but to attack others, especially Oromos. He is anti-Oromo. He is very, very anti-Oromo. He is telling Amaras everywhere, every city, to get armed. They did actually. They did in Redwa, they did in other cities. And now the Oromos are now defending this kind of attitudes. They are fighting for Amaras. They are dying too. They are dying. They are attacked by Fanos and Amara militia from behind, also by TDF forces. So they are not appreciated. I talked about this thing before. They are not appreciated. They are just losing their life for nothing. Amaras have a different attitude, thanks to Mekonen, Kebede, and the other social activists, plus other politicians who have expansionist agenda, moving forward into Oromia region and Gambela region or Benishangul Gumuz region, and controlling Ethiopia, to bring Ethiopia under one national, under one ethnic group, the dominance of Amara. This Mekonen, Kebede, he called on Amaras and eliminate Oromos from Wallega, deny their natural rights of ownership in Wallega, and deny the ownership of Oromo in Shoa. Tell them, if they want to federal system, they should get out of Finfinne, and they should get out of Wallega, because Wallega doesn't belong to them. So with this kind of attitude, now he is appreciated by Ethiopian government. He's appreciated by Amara regional government. They armed him. They gave him weapon, and the Ethiopian media also welcomed him as a diaspora committee coming to save the country. But this is a very serious issue. I don't know how they are not following his social media. They don't know what this guy is up to, or they just want to promote his, social activism now become actual. He's armed now. If he survives, he could be given a military general. He will be a military general, or a very important position in the government. So with this kind of attitude, what the Oromos expected, and why the Oromos are fighting in Amara region now. Because when they finish this war, if they are successful, they will come after Oromos. They already said, they already indicated. So knowing this, I know some of them forced by OPDOs to fight, cheated by financial means, and forced, taken from school. They don't know. But for those forced, For those misled, you should, surrender to TDF. Don't lose your life for something doesn't worse. Don't lose. You are not appreciated, and you are not supposed to fight for expansionist agenda. These people, they will come after you. They deny you right. They will, they already indicated they are coming after you after they are done with TDF, but it's not working in the way they are thinking. It's not working so far. Okay, let me see. I have the video also. I have this statement. A statement on Mekonen Kebede. United States citizens joining and fighting alongside Fano and Amara militia in Ethiopia. The group mentioned as criminals and human rights violators, especially on the ongoing war in Tigray region. Mr. Mekonen Kebede is resident of Atlanta, Georgia, USA, and he is well known for his twisted and controversial social media advocacy against Oromos and pro-federalist groups. He also attempted to assassinate Oromo political activist and the founder of Oromo Media Network, Johar Mohammed, while he was visiting Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Mekonen is advocating for removal of Oromos from Wallagga and the Shoa zone to secure the Amara dominance in Ethiopia's politics, allowing Mr. Mekonen to officially join the armed groups in Ethiopia by Prosperity Party officials and the government's media official blessings is a very alarming news for Oromos in Ethiopia and around the world, plus other peace-loving Ethiopians. The United States and those who are working tirelessly to end the bloody war in Ethiopia should do something to their citizens working against their peaceful efforts. Sanctioning civilians and the military officials in Ethiopia, Eritrea, and sanctioning Fano and Amala militia is not enough. More should be done against the diasporas like the US citizen Mr. Mekonen Kebede, who joined the armed groups Fano and Amara militia in Ethiopia to extend the bloody war in Ethiopia. So that is my statement, the statement from Concerned Citizens Media. This guy should be monitored by Facebook. For his messaging, for what kind of advocacy he is doing. Because this is very serious. It might lead ethnic cleansing against Oromos. So I don't know how they miss this, because they are banning so many Oromos from social media. How they miss this guy with like 50,000 followers and spreading this very dangerous message against Oromos and calling for the arming of Amaras and creating bloodshed in that country. Probably the Facebook or YouTube, maybe they don't have enough Oromos who are, supposed to defend the Oromos and or indicate, point out this twisted message from Mekonen, Kebede, and other activists. Very serious. So the Oromos, please try to join Facebook. Get employment with Facebook. You can be helpful to point out this very dangerous, very twisted, evil mind against Oromos. So the Facebook should pay attention to Mekonen Kebede. Please let them know. They have to see what kind of videos he was making, and he should be banned if you continue in this anti-unity, anti-Ethiopian message and anti-Oromo message. So Oromos, get employment in Facebook so you can be helpful. Okay, let's see some other videos and finish today's presentation. Thank you again. Let's see. So apologies for these technical issues.
Okay, one tip we wanted to pass along, it's not rocket science, but highly recommend when you want to...
Sorry, apologies again. There we go. Okay, the first one is about Mekonen Kebede joining the army, and this is before Desse was captured.
The city is now held by the government and Fano, but the TDF is just 15 miles away and is fighting hard to advance. The battle here could be decisive. Among the Amhara community, here and outside the country, there are regular calls for people to support Fano with volunteers and money. Mekonen has been in the US for 20 years.
That's Mekonen.
He was campaigning on social media to raise funds and recruit fighters for Fano. But now,
this is the guy I'm talking about.
His wife and 4 children to come here to fight.
My sons, I got like 19 years old. I always tell them,
this guy,
I'm gonna go if the time is time.
I am a father, and I cannot imagine leaving my kids and saying, I might not come back.
Yeah, I don't tell them I might not come back. I'll tell them I'll be back because I don't feel I'm gonna die.
I asked Mekonen about the blockade in Tigray.
They pretended like they're victims. They're talking about we starving. Who needs to starve? They fighting, they killing, they robbing a lot of innocent people.
So this is with that kind of mentality. Now they give him weapon, they give him uniform. He could be one day military general with that kind of attitude against Oromos and other ethnicities in Ethiopia, advocating for eliminating of Oromos.
Began as a power struggle between the government and a former ruling party. But it reignited deeply held grievances amongst Ethiopia's different ethnic groups. Both sides believe military action is the solution. And now, another generation of Ethiopians will experience hate and violence.
So I'm still calling on Facebook to monitor this guy, what he's posting. And the Oromos should play a major part, campaign, some kind of campaign against this guy. And the United States also. I know he's coming back, so he should be also monitored because he's acting against the United States interest by going over there and continue the bloodshed, because the United States want the war to end, but this guy is there to extend the war. Oh, this is Russia, training military missile. Massive air, testing. This is some of the areas we should also pay attention as a global citizen. Okay, thank you, RTV.
While you might not find one uniquely styled fist or faucet that fits everyone,
this is Sudan.
it's been days in the making. Thousands have galvanized on the streets of Khartoum, demanding a return to a transitional government, something they say was robbed from them after the military coup on Monday. They're risking a lot. Days of protests in the capital led to street-to-street battles with the military, and demonstrators killed.
We went to the street because we reject the military rule and we reject authoritarianism, and we categorically reject all the behavior of the military council.
We want to topple the Security Committee and bring it down. We don't trust these people. This is not their first coup. We need the world to know that the Sudanese people are living under oppression and are being beaten. Our voices are not listened to because there is no coverage and there is no internet.
With the internet cut off, organizers used mosques, flyers, and graffiti to reach people. The military also blocked the main road to the airport, the planned route of this march.
Ethiopians, we are missing this kind of courageous coming from inside to, to demand our rights in Ethiopia. Really, when all the situation is messed up under Abiy Ahmed leadership, our silence is not helping. It's not helping. Look, Sudanese. Look, the Sudanese doctors, teachers, and other civilians, employees, fighting for their freedom, really.
General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. He also dissolved the Sovereign Council, established after the overthrow of Omar al-Bashir 2 years ago. Burhan says he will hold elections in July 2023 and then hand power to the elected civilian government. But the takeover has received international condemnation. The UN and US has called on the military not to intervene in the protests.
Where is the courage in Ethiopia? Come out on the street, demand your right. Ethiopia is not in a good shape under Prosperity Party, under Abiy Ahmed leadership. Come out and protest against and call for change for the government in Ethiopia. You will have better system, I hope so. But your silence, your fear of security forces, security apparatus is destroying the country. Okay, this may be the last video. The G20 Summit in Italy, Rome. So usually during Mallas Zenawi time, he attends, but this time nobody invite Abiy Ahmed. Nobody from Ethiopia, because Ethiopia is, isolated from global states. That's cutting 30 or more embassies and severing relationship with global community. The country is in a very bad shape. So these are presidents, prime ministers, and other dignitaries from all over the world. I think they do it every year, G20. They will discuss climate and other major issues. Okay, I think that's it. So that's the G20 Summit. The world leaders, the world most powerful, economically, politically powerful leaders came together to discuss the world major issues. Usually, we see protesters every time they meet because the protesters think they are not doing enough for the majority of the population. So anyway, they will meet. They will discuss maybe COVID-19 and other climate and other major issues, and come up with some kind of statement at the end. So that's the general update for today. Desse is taken. Kombolcha could be next. We are watching it. According to the media resources, TDF are marching toward that area. I think, despite the United States, releasing the statement, I don't think the TDF will stop. They already indicated their target is to remove Prosperity Party from Ethiopia so that the Tigrayans people can live in peace and security. That is their target. And Abiy Ahmed also, he used every resources the country has, including sending 14, 15 years child soldiers. He don't care. He don't want to resolve this issue. He has been told multiple times by the United States, European Union, and others to stop this war, to have a negotiated ending for this bloody war. What he's doing? Bombarding Mekelle, bombarding other towns, and continuing the bloodshed, and using the diaspora community like Mr. Mekonen, Kebede, and others to defend and to continue the bloodshed. Individuals with twisted, evil mind. These are not uniting the country. They are evil mind. They are not even helping the Amaras. They are causing horrific situation for Amaras. Amara is not getting peace. Amara is not getting stability wherever he lives. They are exposing the Amaras and making the Amaras target to others due to such kind of attitude, divisive messaging on social media, and so that's why I say Facebook, YouTube, please use Oromo translators, Oromo intellectuals. Please hire. They can help you out in pinpointing these individuals with twisted, divisive idea, dangerous idea, like that could lead to ethnic cleansing in Ethiopia. So we are watching Mr. Mekonen, what he's doing, and the United States also should pay attention to its citizens who are extending the war. The United States want to stop. This is working against the interest of the United States. So we're watching it, and we'll follow other developments. I will be back with other updates. Thank you again for joining me. Be safe, and so long, everyone.